Hey everybody, it's Lainey, and I am here today to talk about something that's come up a lot in my coaching program, and I know is on the minds of so many minds and hearts of so many parents who are locked in during this COVID time. And I know some places the restrictions are starting to lift, and some people are getting out, but when it comes down to it, we are all still not in a state of normal. And of course, our kids are picking up on this. And the thing that's coming up again and again as I'm listening and asking and trying to just offer support where I can is I'm hearing that a lot of siblings are going at it much more than usual. Is that true for you? If that's true for you, raise your hand. Like me. My kids are 12 and 14, and I do not have the same um, strategies that I had. Well, I don't have the same tactics that I have for them as I did when they were younger, but I do have the same strategy. And I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But what I want to first talk about is this fact that with everybody cooped up at home and everybody, whether the restrictions are lifting to your satisfaction or not, you're still in this like very small social pool, right? You're still like swimming in a very small social pool, small social circle. And if your kids have siblings, one sibling, two siblings, more, whatever, that's going to be the full extent of their most intense social relationships right now, no matter how old they are. And whatever was hard about having a sibling and managing their sibling relationships before COVID is like steroid infused difficult now, right? Am I right? Just like thumbs up me or heart me or whatever as I'm talking about this. If you relate to this, like, oh, we thought it was hard 5 months ago. Now it's really hard. Now the kids are fighting nonstop, or it just comes to blows, almost immediately, and the tensions are so high, and everybody, whose toys are what, and it changes, and the kids can't share and everything. So I just got a question in my coaching group about two girls. A mom was asking about her two girls and having them learn how to share and having them learn how to get along. And they get along well enough, but when stuff hits the fan, it like skyrockets, right? It's like jet fuel on their tension. And what I want to do just very quickly here, because I know everybody is short on time these days, is I just want to tell you a couple of things. Key takeaways for parents who have more than one kid. One is that the conventional wisdom of letting your kids work it out will not end up with results that you or your kids are going to be happy with. I'm going to tell you why. When we let kids work things out for themselves, we let them work conflict out for themselves, it's not always the older child, it could be the younger one, but we put one child in the position of trying to establish physical dominance. So they're either going to get their way by powering through it, maybe hitting the other one, or in some way physically getting it, or they are going to use some sort of emotional kind of manipulation kind of tactic, and that's usually the older one, but not always either. It's the savvier one. And so if you let kids figure out their conflict and resolve conflict, do you know how complicated conflict resolution is? Like, people go to school to learn peaceful conflict resolution skills, right? Our toddlers, our grade schoolers, our tweens, our teens are not naturally set up for this stuff. They have to be taught conflict resolution skills in order to solve their problems and to resolve their battles in a peaceful way. So the common wisdom of let them work it out is only going to backfire. The kid who is stronger or the kid who is more manipulative is going to get their way, and that will cement their relationship more than anything as they go on in life, okay? And I know none of you want that. And you got to think about, especially these first years, like 0 to 8, some say 0 to 10, as these like wet cement years of like, when you go to wet cement, you could put your hands in and then you pull them out, and then that handprint stays, or the initials that you drew stay, or your dog's paw print that you put in stays. That's the kind of imprinting that happens to us during those early years. And if that is how your kids are learning to resolve conflict, that is how they're going to be wired to resolve conflict later on. And that's going to be really hard to undo. You have to chunk out that carve out that hardened cement, right? Neural pathways are being formed all the time, but especially in the ages 10 and below. So just be mindful of that. So I go against the conventional wisdom of let them work it out. I don't think that's a good practice. Jumping in too soon is also not going to be great because you want to find that happy balance, see that sweet spot of, want to hear kind of how they're trying to do it, what are the patterns, and observe, and then engage in an effective way that's going to work for all of them. The other thing that I want you to know is that you got to have in mind what your child's um, developmental stage is and where your child is temperamentally, what their temperament is. Because even a child who, let's say, is 10 years old and developmentally should be able to share, if that child's temperament isn't ripe for that, they're going to still have a hard time sharing. And you might find yourself saying things like, what are you, 3? You don't know how to share? What's wrong with you? That is not going to help your child get any better at the sharing either. Okay. So when it comes to managing your siblings and sharing, I want you to be really clear about where they are developmentally so you can have fair expectations. But more important than where they are developmentally is know where they are temperamentally. What kind of person is this? What kind of personality has this child been showing me who he or she is? Probably from day one. And the more you can read your child in that situation, the more you can have peaceful interventions with them. Again, getting involved, not just hanging back and letting the chips fall where they may, because the chips are going to go all over the place if you do that. And we want to help them build healthy relationships because more than any other relationship in their life, even their relationship with you, the sibling relationship provides the seeds and the foundation for intimate relationships later on in their life. Your child's sibling relationships are their learning ground for emotionally intimate relationships. It's where they learn how to fight. It's how they learn how to make up. It's where they learn boundaries. It's how they learn how to talk to each other. It's how they learn forgiveness. It's a crucial relationship. And so I encourage you to be involved with this relationships and to help. And especially if it's something that you find yourself triggered a lot over. Let's say you grew up with siblings and you didn't have great relationships with them and you don't have great relationships with them now. First of all, you're not alone. But secondly, you might be very triggered by watching a certain pattern play out with your own kids. Well, that's a great invitation for you to learn and grow from it, right? Or maybe you didn't grow up with any siblings and you're watching your own kids and you're like, I don't know what to do here. You're not alone in that either. It's a great invitation to lean in and learn and grow. And if that is something that you want to learn how to do with me, then I am here for you. More than happy to help. Go ahead and look in the notes below, and I will tell you how to take advantage of some of the free stuff that I have because I'm here to help you raise your kids so that they have healthy relationships with you, they have healthy relationships with each other, and that they grow up having wonderful memories of their childhood, right? So this is my daughter putting a thumbs up in the corner. Okay, I hope this helps you guys today, and I will see you next time. Stay mighty.